Yo, Kingdom, community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe.
Welcome to another impactful episode of the Community Vibes, okay? Where we highlight people who are doing phenomenal things within their respective communities. And today we have somebody that is extremely near and dear to my heart. You know what I'm saying? She's from the Burg, Orangeburg, okay, representative. And she's a phenomenal young lady. Miss Rushondra James in the building. Stand up and give her a round of applause.
You are too kind.
I told you to stand up. A round of applause, man. It's serious. All right? How you doing, Miss James?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We go back for quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's about what, 10, 11 years?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been
and
a minute,
you have been doing phenomenal work since then.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
So I really appreciate it. Before we get to this queen right here, let's pay two quick bills, all right? Two real quick bills.
Sure.
Number one, if you woke up this morning, give God all the praise.
Amen.
Give him all the praise
Amen.
because he is worthy to be praised. If you watch the news every day, you will see why you should be thankful. You should be happy. You should be jumping for joy if you were able to wake up this morning, because he could have laid you down and sent you home to glory. All right?
Amen.
So give him all the praise. You know, whatever you're going through right now, okay? You may be experiencing some hard times, but God will see you through it. All right? Just stay faithful. Okay? Number two, you hear the smoothies in the background, huh? And you hear the music playing. So that means you know where you at. You at the Groove
right.
Smoothie and Juice Bar, located on 7510 Garnish Ferry Road. Come out and check us out, all right? I promise you, you're gonna love the smoothies. Come out, man, get you some, all right? She's about to get one, okay?
Yes, I can't wait.
Can't wait, see? Boom, there it is. So if she get one, then you need to get one, all right? Be a role, listen, she's a role model, okay? So follow her lead, all right? Now, Miss James, we're back.
Yeah,
We're back to you, Miss James.
All right.
Now, Miss James has a long title that I just cannot say.
Okay.
So I'm going to let Miss James tell you her title
Sure.
that she holds. Ms.
Yeah.
James.
So, thank you again for having me. I'm extremely honored to be able to be a part of this podcast.
Come on.
So yes, I'm Assistant Dean for Student Services for the College of Information and Communications at the University of South Carolina. That's my official title.
It took like 5 minutes for her to say that. But
It is a mouthful.
that just means that she's important. She's important. Okay, she's important. Now, you didn't start there. You actually are a product of a HBCU.
Absolutely. Oh yes, yeah.
Howard University.
I am. Oh yeah, I'm proud
Stand
Howard.
up.
That's absolutely correct.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Correct.
Leaving
Yeah.
the little town of Orangeburg, South Carolina.
my God,
You found
I
yourself
know.
at Howard University.
I know.
How did that happen?
Well, before I even talk about Howard, I'd be remiss if I didn't just send prayers and thoughts out. Chadwick Boseman's family and friends,
salute,
loved
salute.
ones, Howard alum, as
Yeah.
well as a kudos to Kamala Harris and her recent nomination. So let me say that Howard folks, we're Howard forever.
Yeah,
And
salute.
leadership for American global
Right,
community. So
right.
anyway, I will start there. But yes, Howard University, born and raised in Orangeburg, South Carolina. I was an avid reader. I always loved to read. Wasn't too great at sports or anything like that. I was a great reader. Loved English. Loved to read. Loved to write. So a lot of the times I would read urban novels. You know, before we had social media, our generation, 90s kids, 2000s, we read books by Black authors like Omar Tyree or Eric Jerome Dickey or some of the others. And so Omar Tyree was actually Howard alum. And so in his books, he always talked about Howard, his dorms he lived in. I believe he studied journalism. I was interested in journalism. And I just knew that I wanted to study at HBCU. Probably not as convicted about HBCU education as I am now, but I knew there was something special about going to Howard, just in the product, the alum that they produced. And so, so I applied to a plethora of HBCUs, so Tennessee State, Bethune Cookman, Claflin, and then Howard was my top choice. And much to my parents' they were They wanted me to go to school, of course. They were a little nervous about letting me go to DC. You know, this girl lived in Orangeburg her whole life and wanted to go to DC, and so I will always be grateful. My dad is like, you know what, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna do it. My mom was like, if you're going, you're gonna finish, and we're not. That's it. You're gonna stay there. And so, so I have been really privileged and really blessed to have that opportunity to be able to meet people from all over the globe. And really, it's the gift that keeps on giving. I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity.
Awesome.
HBCU guys.
HBCU.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you spent some time at Howard Wright up in DC for a little bit.
I did. I did. It's a beautiful campus.
Yeah.
There's nothing like you guys' homecoming. It's crazy up there.
I know. You know, they're all saying everybody's homecoming is November the 3rd this year.
Oh, really? Wow.
Go out and vote.
Go out and vote. Yeah, that's the true homecoming.
That's our homecoming this year.
Right. So coming from Howard University, man, you came back south.
I did.
You came back south. Did you initially want to come home?
I did. It was a conscious decision. So I majored in journalism, finished up in 2007. We were kind of right on the brink of the economic downturn in our country. Right. And so I decided I wanted to go into social work. And I wanted to do social work. As much as I love my HBCUs, I've always loved University of South Carolina Gamecocks. I have always loved my Gamecocks. And so I knew that if I wanted to come back to South Carolina, I wanted to study at the University of South Carolina. And so they had a very well-known social work program. So I applied. It's the only program I applied to. I got in. My mom was like, you're getting your master's degree. You're going to go straight through. And I was like, really? Wow. So I applied for my master's degree, got in at Carolina, look forward to finally being able to have an apartment because living in DC is so expensive. I lived on campus all 4 years.
It's extremely tough.
Yeah, so I was looking forward to having that apartment life and just going to USC and seeing what that experience would be like. And so that's what I did. I came back intentionally and began to study social work.
Okay, great. Listen, I told y'all, man, she got a lot going on. But now, you know, with your title though, you impact so many collegiate students, right?
It's a blessing.
And you had the opportunity to serve as a mentor to so many students. Who was that mentor? When you was at Howard, who was one of your mentors?
Oh my goodness, that's a really good question. Wow, you got me on that. So many. Who sticks out the most to me was my political science professor, Dr. John Davis. Wow. He used to call me Miss South Carolina because I remember, I never forget, my first day in his class, he started Intro to Political Science. We were in this old school, Douglas Hall is like a staple on Howard's campus. I'm in Douglas Hall. This man is brilliant. He's just like lecturing, no notes, just telling us about historical facts, what's going on in our country. And as much as intrigued as I was by him, I couldn't write it all down. I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna pass this class because I cannot keep up. Right. And so my mom, I talked to her about it. We talked a lot when I was in school. She was like, I'm gonna send you a tape recorder, old school, and you're gonna record his lectures. I was like, all right, Mom. And so he gave me permission to do so. And then he was like, come see me in my office hours. I went to see him. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need help. And he was so helpful. And he just told me so many things and opened my eyes up about the world. We talked about the Clintons, and he had worked for, I think, their administration, if I'm not mistaken. And he knew some intricate details. And I was like, wow, this guy is knowledgeable. And I tell you, from then on out, anytime I had to have a recommendation, Dr. Davis was my go-to. And I never forget, he just always, Miss South Carolina, what you got going on now? And so he was awesome. Dr. Davis. I don't know if he's still there, but he was amazing. Yes.
Listen, you see, you gave us, listen, Dr. Davis, just by your hard work, you gave us a gift, okay? You molded a huge queen. She's a queen, man, okay? It's important that we pay homage to people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
Yes, you have to pay homage to those who gave you, like, who saw something within you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm telling you, because that's so important, because listen, you're not going to make it on your own. It's impossible.
None of us do. And you know, to that, to you saying that reminds me, I did have an aunt, my mom's sister in the area. It was nice because she would say, hey, you want to come over for the weekend? I'm going to take you to get food or whatever because I have a car. She was instrumental in just kind of being that mama for me there. And then my dad had a first cousin, Rita Felton, and her husband, Thurlow Felton, rest in peace, cousin Thurlow. But they also let me come to their house. They also took me to their church. They paid for me to see Toni Morrison. Got a book signed by her. They were amazing. So those are my family members also that really helped me make it through. it right.
That's awesome. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's important. It's so
Yes.
important that you pay homage.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we live in a world now, you know, where we have so many phenomenal young black queens out here that are doing some phenomenal, great things.
Oh, they are. I love
Phenomenal
black
great
women
things.
are doing
Black
some
women,
things.
listen,
They are doing
black
it.
women should have their own holiday.
I agree with you.
Real
Can't
talk.
say I don't agree. Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Black women should have their own holiday.
Out here saving lives.
You being a, you know what I'm saying, you being one of those, successful black queens, in my opinion. How does it feel being a role model to those young women out here?
I look at them sometimes, and I have one particular young lady who I call a little sister to me, just because she's did the opposite of what I did. She went to USC first for undergrad, and she went to Howard for her master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's getting ready to go to Brown, which is Ivy League school,
Wow.
for a PhD. And she's a decade younger than I am. When I look at these girls, I'm like, oh, those are bad girls. I look at them in admiration.
Wow.
I tell them I want them to be better than I am. I want them to not put anything on hold. Don't question who you are, because people will catch up with you. They'll catch up. It may take them a while to catch up, but you just keep going.
Right.
And I think when I see them, I admire them. I'm in awe of them. They don't question their beliefs. I don't know if you noticed that, like being an older millennial, I guess you can say, that generation behind us, they will call out the mom, whoever needs to be called out so they can get right. And I admire that in them. I consider it an honor in my life to be able to be a role model for anyone. So it's a blessing.
Well, listen, she's one of my role models, okay? And I've been looking up to her for almost 11 years. I'm telling you. You may not know, listen, you never know who's watching.
Absolutely.
And that's why that's so important,
Absolutely.
because you mentor so many young people out here. And your social media presence is so classy with grace, okay? How do you, because like, we've seen so many people lose jobs behind social media.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen people lose families behind social media, okay? Lose careers. Why do you take your social media presence so serious?
Well, I'll have to just back up to when I was in college, and I'm an AKA, and I pledge Alpha Chapter. And one of the things that I learned very quickly when stepping on campus is that who I am speaks before they figure this, before you even know me. What I say online, how I present, what happens when I walk through a door, that precedes me, right? And so I've always thought about how I come across. Now I do kind of wrestle sometimes, right? Like, should I say more? Because I do look at people who are just really out here calling stuff out. I'm like, you go, girl.
Yeah.
And I sometimes wonder if I should be doing more. So I'm still trying to work with that. But I think there's a way to do that, and like you said, and still remain employed, right? But I do think it's careful. We have to be careful to think through, but have nuance. But at the same time, be authentic. I think it's just important to know, like, if you don't post anything else, people do go through those pages. And I know some people say, well, what I post on here isn't who I am or who I am. But I feel like what you do, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
You got to be careful, though.
Yeah, you have to.
You got
What you do
to
there,
be mindful.
Yeah.
Because not everybody will be watching your page to support you.
They're surveilling. Surveilling what she say today, or looking to be offended.
Exactly.
Looking for offense. People look to be offended.
Exactly.
I think there's a slippery slope there, but I think there's room for nuance there as well, right?
It's room. So, like I said, man, I'm so thankful for you because you're pushing so many young women to be phenomenal.
Wow, thank you.
And I think that we need more women like you to step up to the plate.
Appreciate that.
And we also have a phenomenal woman that could, let's hopefully, if you guys show up November 3rd, could make an impactful, historic moment for our life.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about it possibly being the first black female vice president. How do you feel about that?
Wow, it gives me chills. And it makes me emotional because for so long, if you look at the different polls and the exit polls and you look at who's voting in the voting blocks, Black women have consistently supported the Democratic Party.
Right.
In season and out of season,
Right.
consistently.
Right.
Oftentimes voting in 90, 96, 97%, all the time,
Right.
in all elections. And so, and for so long, not really having the space, not really seeing ourselves represented in the party leadership.
Right.
And so to see Kamala be able to do something that many have wanted to do or tried to do and haven't quite made it to that pinnacle, to know that that's like right around the corner, that's an opportunity, man, it's humbling.
It's tough.
No matter where you
Beautiful.
are on the side of I'm of the thought of, for Black and brown women, like there is just, no matter what you think about her personally or, politics, just to see that representation to me is a game changer.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
It's a game changer.
That's awesome. Now we've been battling something for the last 6-7 months now that has really handicapped this nation, called COVID.
Yes.
How has COVID, how's that, we don't want to say hurt, but how has that affect your job?
Oh my goodness! Wow. Oh wow. So when we first saw COVID kind of rear its ugly head back in late February, early March.
Right.
You kind of like, okay, we've gone through the Ebola crisis. We've gone, so you just think in your head, okay, this may just go away, right? And when we actually was told, and I think it was March 16th when we started working remotely. My office started working remotely. It was like, wow, what is happening in this country? Are we at the end? Once you get over, I'm serious. One of my friends says it's an exodus. I'm like, I don't know if it's an exodus, but something's going on.
Right.
But then, there was an article written about is COVID-19 higher education swan song? Is this changing the landscape? And I would say yes.
Right.
It is changing the landscape as we know it. I am an administrator in a college of information and communications, which includes journalism students, which includes public relations, visual communication. So these are all careers where you are hands-on.
Right.
So that's kind of tough just to throw it online. So we had to get together. We have phenomenal faculty, excellent director, excellent dean that's been really flexible in figuring out ways to get students experience. Because in those careers, if you don't have the internship experiences, those are the things that lead to those jobs.
Right.
So we were able to kind of swiftly get in there and change things. But then, if you've been reading in the news, like different universities, University of North Carolina, NC State, all started off online, and they've had to now shift, in person, they had to shift everything online because of just the cases that are the spread of cases across campus.
Yeah.
At USC, we have a very tried and true. They have really looked into this and researched this, and hoping that we are right now able to maintain the cases on campus, maintain the students, make sure they're quarantined, and hopefully we'll be able to continue on and finish our semester, which will end on Thanksgiving break. Now, moving forward, away from just the University of South Carolina, just talking about the future, I think that we're going to have a real purposeful look at technology and how we deliver education, what's considered to be a good course, and how can we improve our online presence. How are we able to make that experience meaningful? Because in the spring, it was an emergency, so students say, well, we didn't do anything, just Zoom online, but now we've intentionally designed courses that are using methods that are really going to move forward, help them move forward with their learning and learning outcomes. But it's scary, I don't know. I don't know. Higher education, if you asked me this a year ago, it's always going to be around. It's always going to be the same way. Now, we'll see.
God, we're leaning on you, God.
Amen.
We are leaning on you.
Yes, because I would like to
leaning
see
on the Lord,
sustainability.
Because we need this thing to go away.
I agree with you. Amen.
We have students who need this education, okay?
And who just need the college environment.
There you go.
Who need to leave. They don't have the best home life. And so school is where they thrive, and we want to see our students thrive in every area.
Which we will.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to be optimistic.
Absolutely.
Which we will, okay? In due time.
Amen, yes.
Like the old folks say, By and by.
Yes, we understand it better by and by. And they also said we're gonna run on and see what the end gonna be.
See what the end
That's mine.
Be. There you go. That's
Absolutely.
all right. Now, when we talk about back home, those folks, you love your family.
I'm family oriented.
You love your family.
I am family.
Every other picture of her when she posts throughout the week is of her family. If you don't know how her family looks by now, you're not watching her social media.
Everybody asks about my family.
Why does your family mean so much?
Oh my goodness. So my family, just to the people who you know, but my family, he's talking about my brother, my mom and my dad, but probably more immediate family. So my brother's Down syndrome. So he is my older brother by 5.5 years. But oftentimes I find myself being the big sister. But Richard is a sweet person. He works, and my dad and mom, I don't know, we just are a close-knit group. We say Team James.
Yeah.
I just am really blessed to have them. I'm just a family person. Even my extended family, so obviously my nuclear family is small, just the 4 of us, but my parents come from huge families.
Right.
So my dad is the youngest of 10. My mom is one of 5 girls. And so I have so many cousins.
Right.
And so I think growing up, every Sunday we went to the country.
Right.
My mom being from Springfield, South Carolina.
Springfield.
Dad from Norway. They were high school sweethearts.
Springfield.
What do you know about Springfield?
Springfield.
About Springfield.
Y'all don't know about those Springfield.
Yeah, so every weekend I spent in Springfield. My grandparents, and we went to church there.
Okay.
And so every Sunday we ate dinner at my grandma's house.
Wow.
So then, unfortunately, my grandparents have now passed, but we still just we're always, just around family. I'm family oriented for sure. Great observation.
Very family oriented. Listen,
Yes.
I told y'all, get close to your family. All right.
Yes.
Family is all you got. Family is all you got.
Have your
So
back.
we are so happy and thankful for
Yes.
the opportunity for you to come on the show today.
Yeah,
You
sure.
listen. You are doing so much impactful work within the communities, and especially on USC campus. And we're thankful for that.
Thank you.
Because you are a role model to so many, and you're a role model to me as well. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
But I can't let you go without you asking the magic question.
What's the magic question? Uh-oh.
I know you eat chicken wings.
I do eat chicken wings.
You eat chicken wings?
Yes.
Okay. When it comes to chicken wings, do you prefer the flats or drums?
Oh no, flats all day. Gotta have a flat. Come on. They dip well. You can dip that side of that flat in there and take it right on in.
What's wrong with you flat lovers,
I
man?
love a flat. I'll take all, but I love a flat. I know.
You love a flat.
I love a flat. That's my favorite piece. I didn't realize I loved the flat until people started having a debate. I said, I do like the flats better. I know. And they have to be little. All my chicken wings have to be, can't be the jumbos.
Well, y'all, there you have it.
I assume you like the wings.
I'm a drum guy.
The drummies.
The drum.
I could do a drummy if I have to, but I like a flat.
It's okay. Well, we want to thank Miss James for stopping by the
Thank
show
you,
again.
Tuck.
I promise you,
Appreciate it.
this will not be her last time because she's
okay.
going to be doing so much phenomenal stuff. For those who may want to follow her to see all the work that she's doing and her family pictures. Tell you, how can they follow you?
Okay, I am on Twitter at Rushondra James. That's RUSHONDRA James, all one word. Facebook, I'm just R Janae James. You probably can find me linked to your page when you post. I think Instagram, I'm just Rushondra Janae. Janae is spelled Janee. And I'm also on LinkedIn under Rushondra James. So I'm on all the platforms. We'd love to connect with you. We'd love to dialogue. If you have any questions about anything, we'd love to talk.
Listen, girl, listen. Women's summits, women, empowerment.
I love to do those.
Sessions. Listen, give her a call. I promise
you. Yeah,
give her a call.
Yeah.
Shoot, man, virtual summits, whatever. Give her a call.
I appreciate you.
I promise you. You will not be disappointed because she is as advertised. Okay. So I need for you guys to make sure we lift up our queens as much as possible. It's so imperative. And on November 3rd, let's lift that queen up. It's so important that we do that because we got to get 45 up out of there.
Yes. Let's rock that boat.
Gamecocks, we need some wins this year. Okay, Will Muschamp, you're on the clock, son.
This is Tuck talking.
Thank y'all so much, man. Orangeburg, stand up,
That's
man. We
what's
love
up,
y'all.
the bird. Yes.
Dirty bird, man.
There
It
you
is
go.
what it is.
Awesome.
Put God first, man. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't.
That's right.
All right?
Do it all.
Take care.
Yo, Kingdom. Community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe. You say you won't shine, come get your shine on. You say you want vibes, come get your vibe on. Community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe. Hey, you say you won't shine, we'll get your shine on. You say you want vibes, we'll get your vibe on.